And you can try again. What show are you watching here? What's about
We're going
the
back far.
Try again. I don't think we're that far back.
Okay,
Um,
but you want
what's
to?
this about magical girls? It's
Yeah,
about
uh, yeah. So, the main character, like, uh, uh, she's like wandering around, after school looking for her like childhood friend, like, um, comes in, uh, as a transfer student out of nowhere, and then like after school she goes looking for her, and then she discovers this weird, elevator that goes down into the basement, and then you get like this big. It goes into like this big action scene between her childhood friend and then like this one of the other classmates, and then there's this talking giraffe beside her, who states that it's they're in an audition for instead of Tapu Idolu, it's Top Star, and they're in like they're doing these battles in under the guise of a quote unquote audition for the lead role, and apparently the lead role gets to choose um, any stage that they want to be a star on at any point in time, anywhere, um, including the past, the future, stuff
what?
like that.
What?
Um, yeah,
Like
uh,
so they can say I want to be Jesus, and they'll be like, all right, you can be Jesus or Gandhi.
Jesus wasn't part of a play.
I don't know, man. Have you seen the movie? They've done plays on
Dude,
what happened to Jesus before.
they could stop the Lincoln assassinate.
They could probably do that. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
this the episode
Is
of
this like
talking about series with stupid powers? Like what's happening?
But no, there's no powers in the series.
well, then how did they say they could
What?
go? What? Yeah,
There's no power.
you just
There's no
said they could.
powers.
You just said they could
They can go to
transform
the
and they could go
past.
back in time. Yeah, Samurai Jack style.
That's what the draft does. It's not what the star.
So it's trapped.
So the giraffe is the only one with power.
Draft's the only magic thing in this show.
It's like the Infinity Gauntlet, essentially.
But yeah, I mean the premise is the setup's pretty whatever. The main thing I got into this show for was the animation. Um, the show's by Kinema Citrus, which is pretty alright studio.
What else have they done?
Made in Abyss recently.
What's that?
Shut up. They did Tokyo Magnitude 8.0.
Oh,
like
that one.
that was pretty good.
Speaking of Anohana and Sao, but it's with an earthquake.
I don't know about that, but all right.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that Kinema Citrus has hired some sort of key animator that like used to work for Kiwani or something, because
Did they hire Jun Maeda? Wait, no, that's Key.
yeah, Junmai is also not an animator. But like a lot of the close-ups on faces in this show have a very striking resemblance to Kiyoani art style, which is pretty interesting.
Is the chief animator the same, or what's happening?
I don't know. I haven't looked into the animators for this show because tracking down animators is fucking a pain in the ass. But yeah, it's a really nice looking show. A lot of the action is really smooth. The choreography is really nice. So one of the interesting things is it's not really episodic, but so this show has a really big cast, right? So it's a 9-character cast. And then it kind of goes through, it does the usual thing that I think a lot of like sports animes do, where it'll have like an episode that focuses on them, and then it goes through like whatever troubles they're having.
And the background, like why they're there, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Like why they're there, why they want to improve, why they want to be top star, and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
and then in the second half or I guess the last third of the episode, they go into a battle with either their that character's rival, or another character that like symbolizes something that they want to achieve or whatever, and then their character kind of gets their character arc gets resolved, right?
Right.
So the format is basically set up a character, put them into this like high action musical battle.
Mhm.
Which is the cool part about this show, is that all of the battles are pretty unique. So they all have
What
their
do you mean by
own.
that?
So in each battle, both characters are singing, right?
Okay.
Because it's like, like a stage performance thing, and they're supposed to be competing for like who's the
Is it
brightest.
kind of like one of those musical movies like Les Mis?
Is it like High School Musical?
It's not a musical. It's not a musical.
But is it like that? Like how the scenes? Kind of.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Kind of, yeah. So
Okay, that's interesting.
What's
so
your
like
favorite song in High School Musical?
so like
Just keep
Can
going.
you-
Keep going.
so one of the earlier battles, I think it's in like episode 3, is the main character is fighting like the ace of the class, right? And the whole idea is that the main character feels that this other girl is on a quote unquote completely different stage than from her, and so in the battle, the stage that they're fighting on is constantly like separating and lifting up the ace of the class to like emphasize that like she's the best, right? She's the ace.
Okay.
She's the
Yeah.
star of the stage, and
Mhm.
she'll always be above you. And
Right,
so
right.
the stage is always going up and rising up with her, and it makes for some pretty cool fights.
That's pretty cool.
So,
So it's like
like in another one, there's the main character, and then the main character's like roommate, and the main character's roommate is like always depending on the main character. Like she thinks that like she's boring, and like she doesn't have all that much talent, and so she relies on the main character to keep some sort of shine in her life or something. And the fight pans out in like this weird sort of cartoony like baseball thing, where like the main character doesn't want to fight her friend, so like she's hitting her around like with this big mace, and then she rolls around, and then they like go through a bunch of other different stages where other girls are fighting. And
Oh, that's wonky. It's like I've kind of
Yeah.
seen that in
it's
like
so
some
it's kind of
one
like it's kind of like a Smash stage. in a way.
It's like it kind of reminds me of like, or not reminds me, but like it kind of seems like they're always like the fights are always going on in a stage play sense. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's
it's
pretty cool.
So
That's-
like
that's
Super,
pretty cool.
so like Super Mario Brothers 3.
Zach,
Yeah,
Mario is there and
Yeah.
everything, dude. They pick up a mushroom.
sure, dude.
Everyone's
bricks with their
in
head.
this Smash.
Anyways, keep going.
But yeah, I initially just got into this because I saw some pretty nice animation in some clips on social media and some other sites, and I was like, hey, this show looks really nice. So I checked it out, and I think in episode 7, there's actually a pretty interesting twist as to kind of who, not really the. It's weird because there's no like quote unquote antagonist in the show, right? But there is a character that's like doing something like solely for her own selfish reasons, and she's been doing it for like a pretty long time. And it's a big twist on like what the origins of like this audition thing is, and like what it actually is capable of doing, and then what it does to the people who don't win, and it's a pretty interesting twist. And
Okay.
it's
I mean, that's. I mean, as long as there is actual like motivation to keep fighting, is because the issue is it's like sometimes in these sorts of like series when the girls don't have like stuff to really fight, it kind of ends up devolving to them just being like, yeah, the three girls will just be in like hot spring and they won't really do stuff, and then it kind of devolves into those kinds of episodes, right?
yeah.
It's like it's
Luckily, it avoids that. But for quite a few episodes, I was kind of questioning, like, what, like, what's the end goal for the entire like thing? Like, why? What's the point in fighting? Like, what does the title of top star actually mean? And then, at that point, I think it was episode 7, is they actually like, show what that means, what you can do, and what a certain character has done in the past with the title. And it's a pretty interesting twist. And I kind of don't want to say it's like Madoka, but I did get Madoka vibes from it. It's an interesting twist. I won't spoil it. But I will say, if you want an interesting semi-action show, because this isn't an action-focused show. I mean, almost every episode has a fight in it, but like it's only for like the last third or quarter of the episode, and majority of the episode is about building a character up or building a set of characters up, and then kind of progressing or resolving their arcs.
right.
But it's a good-looking show. It's interesting because pretty much the entirety of the voice cast is like complete newcomers. Like it's
So it's a lot of
most of the
people.
most of the cast, like, this is their first role.
That's pretty cool.
Which is very interesting because they're voice acting, they're singing, so it must be. I imagine it's some sort of project to get new blood into the industry that can
Exactly.
that can act and sing at the same time.
So is this actually becoming a multi media project? Like, is it being announced like that, or what's happening there?
I don't think so. I think it's just being used to like get new blood into the industry. That's like, your qualifications are to be able to voice act and sing, right? Because
That's interesting.
a voice actor that can sing is worth more money, right?
Yeah, definitely can actually do stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
What
pretty.
like, if we're gonna go on that topic, what voice actors cannot sing? That you can
There
think
are a
of?
decent number, like the people that don't do like
What
release single albums and stuff.
Yeah, what A-listers cannot voice act and sing
You
at the
heard
same time?
Sugita's last single, dude. You hear him drop that? Drop his last album? Fire.
Yeah, he's like the Eminem of anime.
I don't think that's how it works. But anyways, again, definitely. I mean, just from hearing this, and I also did want to check this out, but hearing about like how the format of the series is carrying out, I definitely wanted to check it out later. But again, thank you so much for the review. Do you have any last words?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a cool show. Nobody's really talking about it. Like, I don't see any threads about it on I don't see very many people talking about it outside of like Sakuga circles.
Oh, you're part of those circles, huh, Near?
Yeah, I am. But like there's not very many people talking about this show, and it caught my attention, and for quite a few episodes I was kind of just like, this is eye candy, right? But it picks up and it gets interesting, and I think it's all right. It's nice to see the new blood. It's nice to see good animation on top of that.
I still maintain that like people, I think it was on one of the series that people knew about. It was just that like for some reason it kind of just it petered out. It petered out before.
Well, I think a
Petered
lot
out
of
before.
I think the premise has a lot to do with that, right? Because a lot of people will see like because on the cover, because I mean I thought so too. It looks like an idol show, right?
Right.
Idols battling, but it's not. It's a little different from that. It's like
Yeah.
stage play performers
It's
battling.
not really like magical girl kind of stuff either. So
Yeah,
it's very it's like the way it sold itself was a little bit confusing.
Yeah, it's stage play performers battling with real weapons, but like all the theatrics that would be like superpowers and stuff in a normal magical girl series is like stage props, which is really cool.
This time the monsters are real.
But yeah, it avoids falling into the trap of like being some edgy shit where it's like you gotta kill each other to be the top star because
You want to be the top idol?
yeah,
You gotta kill this
because-
motherfucker.
because the way the battles are done is they wear this cape, right? That I'm sure you can see in the picture, the little side cape,
Yeah.
and it has the star button on it.
Mhm.
And the way you win is you knock
You hit
the
it?
other person's star button off, so that way their
Right.
cape falls off.
Oh, okay. That's
And then when they lose, the curtain drops on them, and it's all theatrics, and it's pretty neat.
that's pretty
But yeah,
cool.
it's an interesting way to avoid the you all gotta kill each other.
Yeah, that it's
So-
it's like introducing a battle royale aspect without being like you're dead.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
interesting too because after they battle, they still have to go to school with each other.
Right, but
So-
just like one of them are out.
Is there audience participation in this? Like in what is it? Paper Mario 2, Thousand Year Door, where like
No,
what,
it's
really?
auditions. So
Oh.
there's no audience.
So there's no like someone can throw like a mushroom at you and restore your HP.
That'd be pretty hilarious. Just like
Nah,
having-
Twitch chat can't vote.
they can't send these idols bits. What the hell? But yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. Again, this was Review Starlight. If you do want to check something out, like again, as Nier described, a semi-action series with a very interesting format of how the scenes and everything kind of develop. I'm definitely going to check it out for myself pretty
I'm
shortly.
not.
But please do. I mean, if you're interested in seeing how this sort of genre turns out without it being like it becoming stale, and seeing how this sort of floods the formula, please do check it out.
So are you saying it's better than Idol Master Xenoglossia?
Well, I'm a Master Xenoglossia is a masterpiece, so I don't know about that, but I'd say this is definitely a pioneer.
I'm gonna say no comment.
You're saying it's revolutionary on the same lines as Revolutionary Girl Utena?
I didn't really want to touch on that, but
It's just a joke.
You started it.
It's a joke.
I'm not the one who started it. I'm not the one who compared it to Utena. So
Yeah, who did that?
there's been quite a few people.
Yeah, there's been it's.
Dox them right now.
I would disagree, but to each their own. It's got similarities, but it's not.
It's like Ava.
It's different.
Yeah.
Similar but different.
All right. Well, okay. So with that, I guess again, thank you, Nier, for covering Review Starlight for us. And with that, we are going to finally move on to the news.
Oh, Inspire, did you not cover yours? What was
No,
yours?
mine was the first.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
okay.
I don't know what to say about that, but okay. Well, first piece of news. Let me going. We have. I mean, again, sometimes we have a dearth of news, but these last 3 weeks have definitely not been it. We have a whole bunch of people doing a whole bunch of stuff, so please don't mind if I start just running down the list pretty quickly. But anyways, the first piece of non-person news is just a little funny thing. So the live-action Pokemon Detective Pikachu film director explains choice of main character. In an interview with media website IGN, Director Rob Letterman explained during the 2018 Pokemon World Championships on Friday why the production of the upcoming Pokemon Detective Pikachu film chose to focus on the titular character.
Maybe
Is it
'cause
Danny
it's called
DeVito?
Detective Pikachu.
No, it's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it's Ryan Reynolds actually.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good, actually. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Letterman said that he fell in
don't
love
like
with the story
Ryan.
behind Detective Pikachu and described it as something with a lot of heart. He noted that since many of the previous Pokemon works already focused on Ash, he thought it would be a good idea to focus on the live-action film on a new character. Letterman added that the film quote, still follows all the rules, but you get to see a lot of our favorite. Okay, if Ryan Reynolds is voicing a talking Pikachu, I don't think it follows all of the rules. I don't think that's a thing.
All the rules, dude. Ryan Reynolds, like, you
Wait.
booted up that Game Boy? Not a lot of
Right.
people know this. Ryan Reynolds actually voiced every single Pokemon in the original Game Boy game,
Yeah.
but it's so bit crushed you can't understand.
He's actually cursing at you, but it just sounds like squeals. But
It's just like
If you
movie's
do
gonna be like fucking Dog Cop, whatever the hell that show is called.
it's gonna be like Garfield the movie or whatever it is, right?
Oh,
That's what
God.
it feels like to me.
Garfield in the big city or whatever.
Yeah, Garfield in the big city, like the old Garfield stuff. It's just that's what it seems like to me, right? Like what else? What else does it seem like? But yeah, I hope.
Seems
I hope.
like shit.
Yeah, I hope it goes well, because also it's gonna be a meme for 50 years to come.
I mean, even if it doesn't, like, regardless of how it goes, it's gonna be a fucking meme once it comes out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, people flipped out when Pikachu talked in the last movie,
Yeah, exactly.
and now Ryan Reynolds is gonna just be shooting one-liners. Pikachu, what is happening?
he's gonna
Now-
promote
Look.
Deadpool 3 during the
Look.
How,
It should have been at the end of Deadpool too, dude. Should have gone back in time and fucking stopped him from taking fucking Pikachu role.
what do you think Ryan Reynolds doing Pikachu? Like, do you think he'll say Pikachu when he does like Thunderbolt or Volt Tackle or something?
I think it's gonna be like a slow. It's like, hey, you might be wondering why I got here, and then he just starts explaining.
Freeze frame.
Yeah.
In record
It's me,
scratch.
Pikachu.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is me.
But anyways, good luck with that series. Next piece of news. Japanese news website Sankei News reported on Sunday that 12 manga magazines have ceased publication in the first half of 2018. The site reports that the cancellations are due to low circulation numbers and the proliferation of smartphones with new ways to read manga. The year with the highest number of magazine cancellations since 1995 was 2014, with 14 magazines ceasing publication in the first half of the year, 36 magazines total. A publishing industry representative commented to Sankei News that most of these magazines in 2014 were relatively unknown, while this year has seen the cancellations of some more famous publications. Some recent cancellations include magazines such as Hakusenshin's Besatsu Hana to Yume, which is, I believe, a pretty famous shoujo magazine, Shueisha's You magazine, Hakusenshin's Young Animal Arashi, and Gentosha's Monthly Comic Burst. Blah, 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 and obviously the rest of this is kind of like going through digitalization and kind of like struggles in like publishing stuff. So again, a trend that we've seen over the years, but it might be getting from this year onward, especially, we've seen a lot of sort of localization and online stuff transitioning in the last like year or so, right? So we might see a lot more, or 2 years. So we might see like an exponential increase in sort of people either moving to digital formats or just shutting down completely, like an exponential increase. So this might be something to watch out for. So check that out.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's good, I guess.
It's definitely good for
as
the
lo-
consumer. It's definitely good for the consumer.
As,
But
as long as like the actual mangas themselves or whatever are just moving to like a web format instead of having to buy the magazine all the time, that's fine.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what sort of stable general format people like publishers settle on. But yeah, it's pretty good for the consumer generally. But anyways, next piece of news, just some stuff on animation studios. First of all, Wit Studio So, or IG Port, the parent company of animation studios Production IG, which studio ZBEC Signal MD, and publisher Matt Garden, released its report for the previous fiscal year. IG Port reported, all these blah, blah, blah. So, although it reported losses last year, which studio, who did stuff like Attack on Titan, Ancient Magus Bride, After the Rain, reported a dramatic 60% increase in sales compared to last year, and a net profit of 31 million yen. Publishing arm Matt Garden reported a profit, blah, blah. Production IG, so reported pretty good sales, but then it also reported a net loss of 46 million yen due to a decrease in ordinary income from last year. So ZBEC had also increased sales, but again, another ordinary income loss, and a net loss of about 127 million yen. So it's sort of like regular animation studios seem to be actually creating losses, but then like which studio here who's kind of doing, I guess, kind of sticking with like the bigger studios, but it might also be a slightly smaller, right? Ended up with a net profit, so that's kind of interesting. But even the net profit was only about $278,000. So maybe the scaling of how the studios work and how much how many people they're like employing and stuff like that might be changing in the future, just because these IG and ZBEC are both probably pretty big studios, but they keep making these losses, right? I mean, the series that they create and the resulting licensing and stuff like that, it will be pretty good, but it kind of they're in the cycle, right, where they have to continually take these merchandise sales and these licensing sales, and they have to use that to recoup the losses made by the animation studios who made these franchises. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a weird cycle.
Well,
But,
I mean, in general, when you make a series, you're going to be at a net loss no matter what.
yeah,
Like, you
but these
don't-
guys have to keep like pumping them out, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's like
I mean, I think the big thing is if they look at letting go people, one, that's like the last thing,
yeah.
one of the last things to do. I would
they
say,
might split up the studios more. That might be what I'm
but
guessing.
even then though, it's like the whole thing is like none of this shit's gonna get better until like you can actually buy anime for a decent price,
Yeah.
easily.
Please.
Maybe that's why you don't have money, because people literally cannot buy a product,
The
and when they
the income
can,
and the
it's like
sales, yeah.
$300 for an episode.
Yeah, exactly. The sales aren't, it's like the thing is, it's like the fan base is growing a lot, which helps like the sales like increase, but in terms of like which fan base keeps continually buying it, like the percentage of that isn't increasing, and that's sort of a problem. You know what I mean?
Because I mean, you get newer people who come in and say like, oh well, I'm watching like imagine like someone who's like, I don't know the actual price of My Hero Academia
Mm-hmm.
Blu-ray, but let's imagine if it was an effect of like someone gets into a series like My Hero Academia and they're like, wow, I really want these Blu-rays, like I want these box sets, and then someone goes, yeah, that's like $500.
Mm-hmm.
They're just gonna look at you and be like, what? Because like
Yeah,
no series is like that with anything else really. Like I think it's like the Seinfeld fucking box set is like $300
Yeah, exactly.
for like
I
the
don't-
premium box set.
I don't know, man. Have you seen Fate Zero and like Unlimited Blade Works DVDs? They're kind of pricey.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Like there's with anything other than anime, like you don't hear prices like this. Like I guarantee, like when Game of Thrones is over and you want to get the highest premium box set of like Blu-rays and shit, you're probably going to be looking at like maybe $500, maybe, and that's for like 8 seasons of 1 hour episodes.
I mean, like a whole season of Game of Thrones is like what, $40 if you
Yeah.
just want the Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And like anime BDs are like $30 to $50 for 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's I think anime needs to. I mean, anime is already going pretty strongly digital, but I think anime like publishing
What does it mean
studios, it's
go
like
digital? It's like the
no, they
physical
are.
just needs to match.
Well,
Like a
yeah.
BD, like there's no reason for a BD to be $40 or $50.
The
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 printing
issue
does not cost that much.
the issue is it's like they're sort of quote unquote making up for the price by adding all these omake or like the bonus material. But then again, as you pointed out before, you have these people that are just like, I just want the anime and I don't want to buy it at $60 or not have it at all, right?
Yeah, well, that's what you have to question, right? It's like, well, who's gonna want to buy more? Do you
Right,
think that
exactly.
more people are gonna want to buy the fucking $50 set that comes with like the postcard,
Hmm.
or do you think that more people are gonna want to buy the 20 or the $40 season set that comes with just the episode, and the
Right,
only effort you need to put into it is literally putting them on CDs?
right, exactly. So it's kind of it's unfortunate. It might be something weird in the model that is doing it, or it might just be like this is just how we did it before. It might be that, but either way, the model needs to change. Hopefully, it does that quickly, where it all comes kind of crashing down. Anyways, another thing is the animation studio Drop suspended its activities on August 24th and filed for bankruptcy through a lawyer. Investigation is underway to determine the company's debt. So, blah, blah. It did like a whole bunch of stuff, live action CG, flash content, stuff like that. Company has been involved with a whole bunch of others, a whole bunch of anime projects, like kind of assisting people. Some example is like they did a lot of like kids series too, like Zoe's Wild and stuff like that. But yeah, oh my
Let's actually
god, this
watch that too.
the studio most recently animated the Glamorous Heroes and the Akari no Cleon, or the Lights of the Cleon anime television anime series in 2017. Since then, sales have decreased, labor management caused creative pressure, profits have been sluggish. The company had low fundraising, and because it could not anticipate any improvement in its business, it suspended operations and decided to file for bankruptcy.
We're
Well,
not
there's the
getting
reason.
that fucking Takoyaki Boys spin-off. Damn
God, that series was so bad. But anyways, unfortunate, but hopefully, again, more studios aren't gonna, because especially, I mean, like with production IG, especially the way they're modeled with like IG Port kind of being the umbrella company and handling everything else, it's a bit more stable, right? But definitely smaller studios can't go through this sort of shit where they're like facing continual losses. So very unfortunate. Next piece of news. This is also sort of like interesting. AKB48 producer Yasuya Kimoto, he's like the founder of AKB48, and Warner Music Japan announced a partnership on Monday to produce a new quote-unquote idol girls band with member applications open for Tuesday to October 31st. The project aims to produce an idol girls band for the nation, debuting next spring. So this is like a full band like thing. Project plans to show the quote-unquote success Cinderella band story of the band's development. They'll use an election system similar to AKB48 and sister groups to determine the new group center and headlining members. The project plans to produce a band with a changing lineup depending on the music. The applications call for members for vocals, guitar, bass, drums, keyboard, and other instruments. Akimoto emphasizes that having the ability to play an instrument beforehand is not a requirement for applicants. The application is open to applicants between the ages of 12 to 19. So yeah, you don't need to. You want to join this idol band group? You don't need to know actual like
They
band instruments.
they can teach you.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Cinderella success story. So good luck to
wanna
whoever
be an
gets.
idol? Yeah.
It's
Can you sing? No. You got the job.
Yeah.
do you want to join our K on boo?
God damn it. But yeah, I don't know how
Do you,
successful this is gonna be, but I hope it's not a fucking
don't worry, Spire.
plane crash.
If you get in, I'll vote for you.
Oh, thanks, Toast. But yeah, I hope it's not a train wreck like I'm predicting it will be. Anyways, on the Western localization front, there are two kind of major things going on. First, Crunchyroll and J Novel Club announced a partnership at Crunchyroll's industry panel at Crunchyroll Expo on Monday. Crunchyroll will begin offering a new quote-unquote super fan pack subscription tier that will also grant a subscription to J Novel Club's service. The new super fan pack tier is priced at US $14.99 per month. Blah, blah. The Dutch PC game subscription service Utena and anime music subscription service Utena will also be included in the subscription tier as per a press release from Utena. Blah, blah, blah. There might be some other companies too. But anyways, so I like the fact that J Novel Club is getting more of the spotlight, but I don't like the fact that Crunchyroll is heading it. So I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if once High Guardian Spice comes out, I don't know if they'll be heading much of anything ever again. So
Hi, Guardian Space.
we can
And-
only pray for the end time.
Yeah, the worst timeline. But anyways, the next piece of news is Seven Seas Entertainment announced on Wednesday that it has expanded the availability of its ebooks to Kobo, iBooks, and Google Play, in addition to its previous distribution platform. So Seven Seas is a mainly novel localization company, or light novel novelization company. Seven Seas already distributes its titles digitally through Amazon Kindle, Bookmark Global, Comixology, Barnes & Noble, Nook, and Crunchyroll. So yeah, please do check them out. They've expanded. And that's it for the non-people news. I'm just going to run through people news very, very fast here. Okay, first off, so no comments until the end, please. So first of all, Chibi Momoko Sakura, the manga creator best known for the long-running Chibi Maruko-chan manga and anime, passed away on August 15th at 8:29 p.m. due to breast cancer at the age of 53. Please condolences to her friends and family. Former Nanoripe member. Nanoripe is a popular band, popular anime band in Japan. The official Twitter account for the Nanoripe rock band announced on Monday that former member Yuki Aoyama, or Aoyama Yuki, passed away on August 21st due to acute heart failure at the age of 29. Please, again, condolences to friends and family. The Haikyuu agency announced on Monday that voice actress Miyoko Aso passed away on August 25th at 7:23 a.m. from senility at the age of 92. Known for voice acting, best known for voice acting the role of Fune Isono, Sasai's mother, in the long-running Sasai-san television anime series, very popular in Japan. Voice actress Yuka Imai announced on her blog on Thursday that she is retired from voice acting. She did not provide a specific reason for her retirement, but said that she plans to focus on her family in a relaxed way. Imai cited complicated feelings and various conflicts she encountered at arriving at the decision, but she believes retirement is a decision towards a better future. So she announced in May 2017 that she was taking a hiatus from voice acting to care for a 3-year-old son who was diagnosed with pervasive developmental disorder. So again, she might be having some personal issues, but please wish her the best of luck. Talent agency Crocodile announced on Friday that voice actor Saori Murakita will leave the agency or retire from voice acting on September 30th. So, she's very grateful to her fans and that her time in the business has been wonderful, and like a miracle, she did not give a reason for her retirement. So she played a couple of small roles in smaller series. Love Kome, TQ Season 4, Ketsui Higata-kun, that's the Blood Type series, etc. Please wish her the best of luck. So let's see. Yes, okay. So police from Shizuoka Prefecture arrested Yokyo, a 30-year-old staff member of TBS Television's film and anime department, for allegedly kidnapping a teenage girl from her home. According to the police, the suspect took the victim from her Shizuoka home to his Shibuya home in Tokyo from mid-August until September 2nd. The victim's family filed a missing persons report in mid-August, blah, blah, blah. Police arrested the suspect the police arrested the suspect on the spot and brought back the girl unharmed. The authorities have not said if Yokio admitted or denied the charge. Yokio is actually listed in the credits of the first episode of the ongoing Seven Sisters of the Reunion television anime as the show's publicity producer. Jesus Christ. But yeah. Next, former Mori Musume idol Hitomi Yoshizawa was arrested in Tokyo under suspicion of a hit and run. So she was driving under the influence 7 a.m. on Thursday when she hit a female biker on a crosswalk and then left the scene. Yoshizawa allegedly ignored a red light before entering the crosswalk. Both the biker and the nearby man sustained light injuries. This is actually pretty big. So Shotaro Morikubo, voice actor and singer Shotaro Morikubo, announced on August 31st that he has resigned from the talent management agency VIMS and founded the talent management agency Ad Knife on September the 1st. So he's grateful to the company, but he wanted to start again with a new agency, and that he's exiting from VIMS without dissatisfaction or complaint. So he is trying out, making his new a new agency, kind of like how Fukuyama Jin did before. So this will be pretty exciting. Shotaro Morikubo, very, very big voice actor. Final Fantasy composer Nobuo Uematsu announced on Wednesday Nobuo Uematsu's Dog Year Records company announced on Wednesday that Uematsu is canceling his October 7th Game Irodoru Orchestra concert with orchestra ensemble Kanazawa due to his continuing poor health. So again, Uematsu added that he hopes to regain his health soon so that he can join orchestra ensemble Kanazawa and seeing his fans again. Very unfortunate. Please wish him the best speedy recovery. Monster Musume manga creator Okayado announced on Twitter on Friday that he will take a hiatus to focus on his mental health. He did not provide a time for his return, but he said that he would like to focus on recovery so that he can resume serialization as soon as possible. So he has taken these other breaks before, and usually the comic review blog usually explained that the breaks were in preparation for the compiled volume releases for the series. But now his official explanation is that there's been a lot of mental strain on him, and so he's kind of taking a hiatus. And please wish him a speedy recovery. Last piece of news: Tokyo's Metropolitan Police Department arrested Ichitaro Shiba, a 33-year-old unemployed man from Tokyo's Kamitakara district, on Thursday for repeatedly stalking 33-year-old entertainer, singer, and actress Shoko Nakagawa near her home. So, according to the investigators, the suspect dropped a note that read in part, "Please tell me how to reach you," in the mailbox at Nakagawa's Tokyo home in late August. After Nakagawa contacted the police filed a warning over Japan's anti-stalking law in early September. The police reported that the suspect admitted to the charge, and he claimed, "I've lost my home key, and I don't have friends or anyone to turn to, so I thought I might turn to Nakagawa." What? But yeah, just a note that if you lose your keys, contact the police. Do not contact your idol. But I don't know what else to say.
Spire, I
But
lost
she's
my
there
heart.
for me.
Spire, I lost the stream key. Do you still have it?
Can I crash on your couch?
Dude. just contact like some random singer, dude. But yeah, again, that was all the news for the past 3 weeks. A lot of sort of sad news. A lot of people sort of passing away. A lot of people retiring. Actually, more people retiring than I, thought would over sort of regular period. Usually, people retire like every maybe like I want to say 2 months and stuff like that, or at least people who are like known in the voice acting industry and stuff like that. But definitely very unfortunate for a lot of these news pieces. But again, please, condolences, speedy recovery, whatever it is. Please wish all these people the best of luck.
It's the end of the current. This is a foretelling of the end of the current anime era, Spire.
God damn it. All right, so with that, we are moving on to our shoutouts and callouts. As everybody knows, shoutouts is one thing that you want to praise, give 11 out of 10, 5 stars on Yelp, and it can be any one thing, people, place, person, or people, place, thing, and it has to be one thing and one thing only. And a call out is the exact opposite. You get to flame, rant, be angry about any one thing, and each person gets one shout out and one call out. So I guess I'll go first. My call out goes to my local PC repair people who are like, yeah, we can just get this packed back up real quick, and then when I call them a couple of hours later, when they promised like an hour, they're like, yeah, we're gonna put it back tomorrow, I guess. I'm just like, oh my god, is this for real right now? So fuck you guys.
Classic.
My shout out, huh? My shout out is actually to the recent rash of manga I've been seeing recently. It's like, I know it's more just me kind of being like really out of the manga loop, but I've been kind of reading manga stuff here and there, and I've been liking it quite a lot.
What's your favorite current manga that you're reading?
My favorite one is actually the one that was what was it? It's Nadeshiko Doremisora, whatever. I like
Really?
that one. Yeah. But the thing is, it might also be like contrast because it's like, again, I've been soaked in this sort of like garbage, fucking filthy, like shallow as fucking shit, like just fanfic, shousetsu, blatant novel, web novel, just absolute trash that will eventually be adapted into popular anime and people will give it high ratings on Mal for some reason. But I've been
Spire,
I just-
you know that's another music manga, right?
yes.
Why don't you just rewatch Hibike Euphonium like normal people?
Shut up.
Like normal people.
But anyways, I just it might just be a bias because I've just been in that sort of like filthy fanfic world for so long. But I do find it pretty refreshing, kind of read through all of this and see all like the nice like drawings and stuff. But yeah,
Refreshing like a new clarinet mouthpiece. Is that what music people like?
yes,
What?
it feels like a new clarinet mouthpiece?
I
Question
don't know.
mark.
Sax. What's the thing?
You could just be
Saxophone
like
guard.
oboe.
What's it
Or
called?
anything.
I'm trying. What is the thing that you use with a woodwind instrument, but you got to replace every so often?
Is an oboe reed?
Yeah,
Oboe
sure. A
reed,
new
yeah.
oboe reed.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But yeah, I guess so. But yeah, so that's what I'm giving a shout
Or
out to.
new strings on your flute guitar.
On my yeah, on my guitar. Yeah, I mean that could work too. But yeah, anyways, that's my shout out call out here. Shout out call outs, please.
Oh shit. Shout outs to Spider-Man.
Oh, nice.
He's a pretty cool guy. Um,
Which Spider-Man is the
until
best?
he disintegrates.
Tobey Maguire, Garfinkel, or Tom Higgins? What's the guy's name? Tom Holland. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's definitely Tom Holland.
it's Andrew Garfield
Shut up.
and Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland's definitely the best.
But he
yeah,
does it
Spider-Man.
pizza time. I love
Thank God
pizza
for
time.
that. No, I'm done with pizza time. But yeah, Spider-Man, the video game, Marvel's PS4 Spider-Man developed by Insomniac Games trademark, is pretty good. I wasn't paid to say that, but
Would you
yeah, I
want to be
said it.
paid for saying that?
Yes, please give me money.
Almost as good as the taste of Totino's pizza roll.
Yes.
God damn.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. But yeah, I said at the beginning of the podcast, if you have a PS4, you might as well buy Spider-Man because there's really no like good PS4 exclusives anymore. So might as well. It's a pretty good game. Callouts to shit, I don't know. whatever.
Some evil stuff out there.
Yeah, college to
This is actually the first time where Nier actually doesn't really have, like, one of the very few times where Nier actually doesn't have a call out.
yeah, it's rare that I'm not angry at something.
Usually you have a call out and not a shout out.
You know what? Callouts to the Nintendo Switch paid online service.
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
Yeah. What a crock of shit. Like, how do you release a console and then have free online for a year and a half and then be like, hey, by the way, now you got to pay for it. And not only that, so here's the thing. So they went over like the online service in their last direct, right?
Mm.
And you pay for online, you get obviously online play, you get cloud saves, which is always nice. You get to play NES games, which is probably why they shut down all those ROM sites. But what they don't tell you is that the Nintendo Switch will check in every week to see if you're connected to the internet or not. And if you are not connected within one of those checks, you can't play any of your NES games. And if your membership expires, all those cloud saves are gone. You don't get to access them anymore. So that's great, right? On top of that, apparently they're releasing NES controllers that you can like plug into your Switch.
What the fuck?
And they're $60 a pop. And apparently you need to have the online service just to use them.
What?
Just to even have the peripherals be usable on the system. You have to have the online. So you got to pay $60 to own the controllers, and then you got to pay, like, what is it, like $20 a year, just to use the controller.
What?
What a joke! What a complete fucking joke. Not to mention the fact that, again, they've had free online for a year and a half on this console, and this is a console aimed still at kids. And what's going to happen when they roll this out and all the kids that bought Splatoon can't play Splatoon anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you going to do? Like, your kids don't watch directs. Parents don't watch directs. So when some, like, 6-year-old kid is like, hey, mom, I can't play Splatoon anymore, what the hell's mom going to do about it?
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's like, I don't know what's going on here.
It's just...
GameStop's gonna have a lot of people walking in.
Yeah, there really is. They're going to be like, oh, something's wrong with my Switch, dude. And it's like, no, you got to pay for online now. And a lot of parents are going to be like, well, what a fucking scam. Because parents already think that buying new consoles is a scam.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just bad move, Nintendo. Bad move. Like, it was already obvious you released the Switch too early, but now it's like you delayed your online service to the point where, like, you might as well just not even do it. But
Yeah,
they're still
exactly.
going ahead with it, and it looks bad.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But well, I mean, that's what happens with these things. Anyways, that Dark. Shoutouts and callouts, please.
Shit. I don't remember what I was gonna shout out. Oh, shout out to the newer, or not even the newer, because it's not that new anymore, but the current WoW raid. Current WoW raid is pretty fun. Pretty good time. The expansion has a lot of problems, but the raid itself, not one of them. how
Mhm.
classes interact with the raid. Because if you're playing WoW, don't play a ranged class. If you want to raid, you're not going to be able to.
Nice.
But I
You know,
love range classes.
yeah, well, guess what? Ranged classes also love having cast time. You know what these raid bosses like having? A lot of mechanics that force you to constantly move.
You mean like in Final Fantasy 14, 15?
No. A lot of Final Fantasy is stop and go with like any boss that requires you to move. You do
Yeah.
have moments in which you can stop. And another thing about Final Fantasy as well is that they have things that spells that are usually off the global cooldown that you can also move while casting, which means that even while you're moved, the stop and go move, you're always doing something.
And I mean,
While right now for ranged classes, you
even
literally just stop.
even in Final Fantasy, you have Black Mage, which is a very it's a class that wants to stay still as much as possible, and to compensate for that, they gave Black Mage like the most instant cast moves in the game, and even an ability that lets them do their rotation while they move. So
Yeah, WoW used to have that.
yeah,
Not anymore. Don't know
Yeah.
why. But anyway, not to turn this into a call out at the time, because my call out is reserved for Rooster Teeth.
Ah,
So,
what do you mean?
yeah, so Genlock is a new series from Rooster Teeth that's coming out, and it's supposed to be a mecha. Here's the thing. They may as well just be Spartans from Halo, because they're all mocapped and they're all human in perfectly humanoid ways.
So
Um,
it's like the mobile trace system from G Gundam. It's completely different, man.
no, it's just bad.
You
Um,
don't get it. They're creating subgenres, dude.
yeah, that's another thing. They have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, obviously, because they're talking about how Ruby isn't able to be categorized as anything.
I
Isn't
mean,
Ruby
You
a
know, no
magical
one.
girl show?
Yeah, is it really a magical girl show? To which I say, no, no, it never was. There's
I mean,
magic in the show. That doesn't make it a fucking magical girl show. Just because you have magic and girls doesn't make it a magical girl show.
I
There's
mean,
no transformation. There's no like. There's no like notable abilities or like attacks or anything. There's nothing like that in the entire series.
I mean,
And I don't know, just to
can I,
be just to say shit like we can't be called an anime, can't be called this. It's like no, you can be and you are consistently.
again, it's what I my biggest gripe with this specifically is just that it's sort of what occurred to me, and I think I did mention it to you guys before, where it's like this talk of like you can't categorize it's not this sort of anime or that sort of anime, and that like talk in itself is already like it already shows a perspective that is not conducive to making a good series. You know what I mean? Because it's like the idea is
It's
they're viewing
certainly not a healthy mindset to have.
they're not viewing this in terms of like what is the story, what is the characters, what are we doing, you know, how are they developing, like all these specifics that are actually obviously very crucial to a story, right? A work of fiction, right? They're viewing it very much like 20,000 feet up, like top down sort of making, which is very uh, kind of like to me because it's like they're all like before we start with the story, we're not gonna have to consider it's gonna be a magical girl series. Wait, it's gonna be a Western work, or it's gonna be an anime, or can we? Is it gonna be classified as the subgenre, or like it's gonna be a work of literature that defies all expectation? Like they're describing it almost as if they're already like cementing its legacy before they've even begun, and that's what really kind of like confuses me and makes me kind of angry because it's like just make a story. Your legacy will be determined later by how good the story is and what it did. you're not gonna have a legacy by describing what the legacy might be before you've even made the series. So that's, I think, that's the sort of like thinking honestly needs to go away. Like I don't even like at this point, like in the development of like, Western anime communities, I don't even really care that much that like, you know, is it a Western anime? Oh, it's a disgusting Western anime. Like I'll have this sort of like instinctive like kind of like drawback if people are kind of like, oh look, it's anime, and like Steven Universe is popping up at me while I have been like watching anime, right? Like I'll have this instinctive thing. But if it's like a good enough story and people like recommend it enough to me, sure, I might even take a look, whatever. But it's like I don't even mind that at this point. But I really don't like the fact that people are like, oh, what are we going to make? Are we going to make a Western anime? Or are we going to make a Japanese anime? Are we going to subcategorize it into something? Is going to make a culture in itself? Are we doing some sort of throwback inspiration mecha anime? Are we going to do some homage to Gundam? Are we going to, well, like, just make a story, dude. Like, just make a story. It doesn't need to be, it doesn't, like, you don't have to fit it into an inspiration for Gundam, or you don't have to make sure it's some sort of like it'll be known for 50 years as a masterpiece in its subgenre. Like you don't have to do any of that. Just make the story, and the legacy will make itself. It's
So
very tiring.
That's the problem
So
too, because
what does Better Player want, Fallinger?
that's even how Ruby began, was the concept that Monty had always talked about that he came up with. Was he was literally falling asleep in like I think in the passenger seat of someone's car, and then he was like woke up and he was like, oh, sniper sight, what can I do with that?
Yeah,
And then he was thinking of like all the old shit he did, and all right, well, what if it's like Little Red Riding Hood, like a Little Red Riding Hood sort of theme thing for this trailer, and then where can I go from there?
yeah. But imagine if he started off, he like woke up and he was like, "Man, I want to make a subversive maho shoujo genre, but in a Western style that will defy like classification." Like, come on,
Wow, you
like,
know what's not Maho Shoujo? Ruby.
God damn
Is Steven
Man wakes
Universe
up,
Mahou Shoujo?
decides to make an immediate classic.
it. Yeah, it's very, but yeah.
Yeah, but also cover another part of that I was going to say too is they also just announced that they're getting on their new show. What is it called?
Thundercats Roar?
No, I just had it. Genlock. Yeah, on their new show Genlock, they keep announcing voice actors. So one of the first voice actors they announced was Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan was literally the villain in a Marvel movie recently.
You mean was he?
So that ain't.
Wasn't he Killmonger?
Yes,
Yes.
he
Yeah.
was fucking Killmonger in Black Panther.
Nice.
So guess what? That ain't cheap. They also got David Tennant, one of the most recent Doctors. That also ain't cheap. Regardless of
Yeah.
whether they've been voice actors before or not, those roles elevate them a little bit higher now. Just a tad bit. Then now recently, just yesterday or today, they announced that Arya Stark's actress from Game of Thrones is going to be another voice actor in the series.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and guess what? All the trailers for this series, they're like 15 frames a second. I literally think there are less frames
Cinematic.
in the animation than in Ruby.
But is it more frames than Kaguya Luna?
No, actually, it's
No.
probably like about the same.
Kaguya Luna's gotten better.
No, she's gotten better, but it's still not like you wouldn't want to watch like a show animated at that frame.
I mean,
Its frame rate is probably like literally either at or worse than Kimono Friends.
well, yeah, definitely. Kimono Friends is still animated at 24 frames per second. It's just that the animations themselves are fucking bad.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like these fucking like 15 frames a second mocapped animation, and I'm just sitting here like, where's your improvement? I was like, you've had like 5 years now, and it's like clearly you're spending money in other places because it
Yeah.
ain't Because you just hired on 3 like huge named actors to voice act in the series.
Yeah.
Like something tells me out of the kindness of their heart, they're not doing.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be an
They
interesting
just
ride.
love Ruby. All right.
Just
I just-
love anime.
Michael B.
It-
Jordan's like, I love anime so much. I want to be
I
in
love
Ruby.
anime so much. I was in an anime called Black Panther. Have you seen
I
it?
love anime so much. I'll just work for free.
yeah. But yeah, anyways, again, thank you, Dark, for shout out calls.
Oh wait,
And,
hold on. Also, make a call out to you, Spire.
What? Why?
Because you didn't announce someone who passed away that we missed because we had
Yeah.
episode 100. Okay, you're just gonna ignore old Joseph's passing?
Oh,
Wow, you skipped over that?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
Yeah,
He skipped that.
I
We show
mean,
you.
we kind of had to skip news on 100 because it would have been like 5 hours long.
But this didn't cover Sho Ishizuka.
Yeah, actually, there's the the people behind like Pokemon anime actually announced that they're replacing the actor
Professor
behind
Oak?
Unsho Isuzuka, with another voice actor. I forget whose name is. Oh, it's Kenyu Horiuchi, who's going to replace who did Naruto's Pain and the second Hokage. So he's going to replace Unsho Isuzuka, who did pass away recently, as the voice of Professor Oak in the Pokemon Sun and Moon television anime series. So yeah.
The curse of Heihachi continues.
Yeah.
Who's
But
next?
Get
ready for the next battle, boys.
Oh my god, please. But yeah, again,
What's the final battle?
Unsho Isuzuka did pass away recently. He was a very big voice. He was a mentor to a lot of voice actors, famous voice actors now. But again, condolences to his friends and family. But again, very unfortunate. He was, I believe, the age of 67 as he passed away due to esophageal cancer. But yeah, again, condolences. Anyways, last but definitely not least, Toast. Shoutouts and callouts, please. Toast is dead.
My
He's
shout
fucking dead.
my shout out is to
Yes?
I don't know.
You can go to your callouts first if you
My
want.
shout
okay, dude?
No, I'm trying to think.
Okay.
I'm not gonna shout out pizza. That's too obvious.
Okay. It's too obvious. Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think it needs to be a surprise.
My shout out is to
Pizza
Right.
pasta?
Pizza Time. No, Dragon Quest 11.
Love its homage. It's such an homage to other JRPGs.
Totally. Yeah, it's pretty good. The last Dragon Quest I played was 9? 9 on DS. 10 was the MMO, and I'm not gonna play that. So yeah, Dragon Quest 11's pretty good. I'm gonna do an anime review on it later.
On a game?
Yeah, it's an anime game. Do you, Nier, do you not know who's done the art ever since Dragon Quest 1? Do you know
Enlighten me.
Do you know who Akira Toriyama is? Of Chrono Trigger fame?
Never heard of him.
Yeah, me neither.
Probably a loser. What's your color?
Okay. Yeah, it was what you call it.
Did you know that in Dragon Quest 11, they basically in Dragon Quest 8, they turned red for which was basically the precursor to Super Saiyan God with their Psych Up form. In this one, they turned blue. Do you know why?
Because of Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
No, Ultra Instinct.
Why would that make them blue?
You never seen Ultra Instinct's aura? It's blue.
Oh, blue
Blue.
aura. I thought you were
It's
talking about
blue
the
and
hair.
white. No. What was I talking about? Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Toast. Oh my god. Toast, please.
My call out is to Dragon Quest XI's localization. Why is everyone Cockney British?
That's because they
This,
sound more intelligent that way.
this
I don't know.
They
Why
sound
is
more fantastical.
why is everybody Welsh in Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
they did the same thing since Dragon Quest 8, where everyone's speaking weird English, and I get that the original Dragon Quest has alliterations for the spells and onomatopoeia and stuff, but that's not cool. Why can't we go back to Dragon Warrior 7's translation where everything was more westernized and D&D like and everything sounded cooler? Why is Cassizzle? Why is it called Cassizzle instead of Blaze Most? Why is it called Sizz instead of Blaze? And Sizzle, why
Sizzle?
why is
Yeah.
Sizzle not Blaze More? You know, it's like old Final Fantasy with Fire 123 and Cure 123. Why is Dharma Temple now All Trades Abbey? Is it because you like the alliteration? It's not cool, man. And if we're gonna keep going on, why is Martina called Jade? Ow! In Dragon Quest XI, I get that there's some sort of gem motif going on with Gemma and what's the guy's name? Carbuncle, whatever.
Hmm.
But this isn't Steven Universe. I don't care about that. Martina's a nice name.
Okay.
Do you not like the Japanese name Martina?
Native Japanese Martina.
Okay. So was
As roots in
that?
Japan.
Yeah, it's rich fan.
And my call out is to
That was your call.
That was your
That
call, right?
absolutely was his call.
oh
Yeah. Okay.
never
So-
mind. I'm done.
Okay. Thank you, Toast, for your shout outs and call outs. And with that, we are finally done with episode 101 of 4Play Animecast. Again, thank you for coming this week. Next week, we're going to do another episode in a week because of the shifted schedule. But next week,
Wait,
we
we're
are going
doing an episode next week?
Yeah, we
Previews.
kind of gotta.
Yeah,
Or no. Wait.
because it has to be preview episode. It's our preview episode.
No, you can do it 2 weeks. Right? That'll
Can we?
be
Can we?
because after that is most
Don't-
of the
Isn't
fall
it
stuff
episode
starts.
ones?
But no, most of the fall stuff starts in like October 7, not September.
Because this week is this week is all of the episode 11s and some of the episode 12s, right? So next week, I thought.
I mean,
Well,
Oh
if-
no, yeah, next week would be, but I just wasn't sure. All right.
I mean,
Shit, dude. I'm
but
down.
if it's not, if the next one after this is not after the October 7th, I won't have anything to talk about.
You'll be
Yeah,
able to talk
I mean-
about the endings of stuff this season.
No, my scheduling should be correct. I don't think. I think next. By the time we have, by the time if we have it this next week and then the episode after that, it should be pretty much smack dab in the middle of all the episodes ones coming out. So it should be fine. But anyways, we are going to have the preview episode pretty much a week after this, and we're going to cover all of the fall 2017. Excuse me, fall 2018 anime previews. So watch out for that.
I call all
Oh, it's exciting
I
times.
call all isekai. There, I said it. Now it's on paper.
Fucking damn it.
You
yeah,
can't take it from me now.
No one's gonna contest you on that.
yeah. But please do check that out. And as always, again, if you do like what we do this every other Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/4PlayerAnimecast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in anime, manga, visual novels, light novels, web novels, and all other forms of Japanese media. Again, please follow us here. Follow us on social media, on Twitter and Facebook, 4PlayerAnimecast, and Twitter handle at 4PPAnimecast, as well as 4PlayerAnimecast.moe, where we have all our content. And on our YouTube channel too, right? Our YouTube channel has all of our videos there, so please do check us out there. And yeah, so follow us here. The next episode, usually exciting as usual. preview episodes. I think the last couple of seasons were a little bit sketched. This season might be pretty nice with fall
Next
season
season
coming.
looks like shit.
But
I do not agree. Hinamaru
Well, we'll see how it
Sumo is
goes.
going to be the best magical girl that season.
yeah, but anyways, we'll see how it goes. And as always, we'll see you next time.